Hey, this is Joe from Complete Carnivore. Today, we have a box of steaks from Holy Grail Steaks. We'll talk about them more in a minute, but let's just get right into this. Let's get this box open. Holy Grail is, I forget where they're based, but they sell, kind of the main stuff they sell a lot of American Wagyu, some Tajima American Wagyu, which is a cross between a Japanese cattle and an Angus cattle. They also sell quite a bit of Japanese Wagyu. They have some of those, but they're also getting some other stuff in there. Dry ice. We'll play with that later. Everything's packed well. I mean, this is cold in here. Still a lot of dry ice left. So whenever you get a shipment of steaks and you see that there's still quite a bit of dry ice left, that's a good sign. It's a good sign that everything else will be frozen. One little ice pack in here. That's kind of fun. One thing they have started selling recently, and I'm pretty sure this is it, is carrot-fed beef. So these cattle are, I mean, they spend most of their life in the pasture, and then instead of being finished on grain like most cattle are, they're finished on carrots. The ranch is Santa Carota Ranch, which means holy carrot. They're based in outside of Bakersfield, just east of Bakersfield up in the mountains. And I don't know if you know this, but California produces 8 out of 10 of the carrots that we eat here in the US. So they have access to a lot of carrots. There's probably a lot that are just misshapen. Maybe they didn't grow big enough for the market, anything like that. So they have a lot of carrots that would normally just go to waste. They'd normally get, I don't know what they do with them, but these people decided, let's try feeding them to some cattle. And the result is this. Carrot-fed beef. I know over in Japan they have olive-fed beef where they feed the cattle some of the byproducts from the olive oil pressings. And that, I love hearing things like this because it's a good way to use produce that people spent time to grow. They spent money to grow, and now it's not going to waste. It's being used for something good. It's not just, like I said, stuff that's not really fit for packaging, selling to stores, and it's not something that we'd buy, but it's still, there's nutritional value in it. And if you can give it to some cattle, pigs, chickens, whatever, any other animal, and they can take something that would normally be waste and turn it into delicious meat, I think that's a win. It's good for the environment, it's good for the farmers, it's good for the ranchers. I think everybody wins in this case. I've never tasted carrot-fed beef before. I doubt many people have. I know like Wolfgang Puck in particular loves it. There's 2 or 3 steakhouses in Las Vegas. S&W Steakhouse, I believe, is one you can get it at. And Gordon Ramsay Hell's Kitchen, I think they sell this there at Caesar's Palace. But I'm excited to try this. And again, it's a big tomahawk. If you're looking for a great Father's Day steak, the tomahawk's kind of the one you have to go with. Yeah, you're buying a bone. You're paying a lot of money for a bone here, but is there any steak that looks cooler than this? Once it's grilled up, once it's on the plate. Best looking steak you can get. Pretty decent marbling in here. Let me get some of this ice off and you can kind of see it a little better. Usually grass-fed beef isn't as marbled. Grain-fed beef has more marbling, and this is pretty decent here. I like the look of this. And this is I don't know how heavy this is. This is, I don't know, 3 pounds? 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds, 3 pounds. Usually tomahawks are in the 2.5 to 3 pound range. But this is a great looking steak. I believe these, if I remember right, at Holy Grail Steak, and I'll put a link down below for these guys. I think they're about 80 bucks. So it's yeah, 80 bucks is expensive for a steak, but for a Father's Day gift, for something like that, anniversary gift for your husband or your wife, if she is a huge steak eater, birthday presents, stuff like that, that's where the tomahawks really shine. They make, I mean, just the visual, the striking visuals of this giant steak sitting on your plate with a big handle. That's just a good look. And Holy Grail also sent me, let me get the big box off of there. This is some different butcher's cuts that they sell. Again, these are American Wagyu. This is a Bavette steak. Bavette has been one of my favorite cuts easier. It's also called sirloin flap. Like a whole Bavette is usually 2 or 3 pounds. So this is just a little small piece, maybe 8 ounces, 6 ounces. Again, this is the American Wagyu Tajima. I've had American Wagyu from Snake River Farms. I'm interested to try this and see how it compares. Here's a flat iron. I know a lot of people love flat irons. I've had flat iron 3 or 4 or 5 times, and I've never been a huge fan of it, but I'm looking forward to trying this one and seeing how it goes. I know some people love it. They say it's super tender and flavorful. For me, it's almost a little bit minerally. What do we got here? Another Bavette. So you got 2 Bavettes. I'm guessing we're going to have 2 of everything in here. A Zabuton. This is also called a Denver steak, I believe. Comes from the chuck. I've had some Denver steaks, and they're delicious. That's a nice little small steak. Another flat iron. Again, Tajima American Wagyu. Here we have beef hibachi steak. I'm not exactly sure what cut this is, but if I remember right, I think it's a flatter steak. They just kind of have it bunched up here in the packaging. And it's just designed to be cooked hot and fast. Another Zabuton and another hibachi steak. I love butcher's cuts like this. There's others like picanha is kind of a butcher's cut. Tri-tip, that's kind of borderline on butcher cut. But like Bavette is great. Even stuff like flank and skirt. They're wonderful. And there's one I'm drawing a blank on the name of it. I can't remember it right now. But a lot of these cuts, they have different flavors and textures than you get from like a ribeye or a New York strip or a filet or a porterhouse or the standard steakhouse cuts you see. So I'm a big fan of butcher's cuts. And I'll put a link down below also on a blog post I did on where you can buy some of the different butcher's cuts that are available. Hanger steak, that's the one I was thinking of. That one might be my favorite cut. I don't eat it often, but it's wonderful and delicious. Every time I eat a steak, I say that's my favorite cut, just because they can all be so good and different. So once you start eating a lot more steak, and you notice the difference between a ribeye and between a bavette and between a hanger and a skirt and a flank, you start noticing the different subtle flavor differences you see in those and texture differences. It gets really fun. It gets really interesting. And also the difference between like a carrot-fed ribeye and a grass-fed ribeye and a grain-fed ribeye and an American Wagyu ribeye and on and on and on. So these are from Holy Grail Steaks. Go check them out. They have some great cuts. The prices are pretty decent compared to other online retailers I've seen. But all these steaks look great. I mean, there's some great marbling in here. That's going to be delicious. This flat iron looks wonderful. And I'm looking forward to eating these and trying these out. I'm not sure when I'll get around to cooking these. This I'll probably do fairly soon. I'll just put this in the fridge to thaw for 2, 3, 4 days. And I might cook it. I don't know. Today's Friday, so maybe Monday, Tuesday. We'll look at cooking that up. Reverse sear is going to be the best way to go on this. Something this thick. It's going to take quite a while to cook. You don't just want to slap it on a hot grill and flip it. You're going to get the outside burnt before the inside's done. But I'm looking forward to trying this. Supposedly the meat's fairly sweet. I mean, carrots are really high in sugar. They're 88% water. So compared to grass that cattle normally eat, that's 88% dry. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what the texture is like on this. But again, Holy Grail Steaks. Go check them out. I'll put a link below. And we'll cook these up and we'll give them a taste, see how they are. And I'll film another video on some of these. Definitely film one on the Tomahawk and show you that. So again, perfect gift for Father's Day. Go buy one. Go buy a couple for your dad. Buy him a nice steak like this and get yourself some other cheap ones if you don't have the money to buy 3 or 4 of those for everybody. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions about any of these cuts, about Holy Grail, about any of this, just leave a comment below. Be sure to like and subscribe and share and do all those things. And we will talk to you another time. Thanks for watching.